Peatlands are a unique set of biodiverse habitats. So the fens in Cambridgeshire have roughly 25% of Britain's wildlife. 13,500 species live here. At the moment, most of those are confined to a small number of semi-natural habitats surviving on the nature reserves. Our job is to create 9,000 acres more of suitable fenland habitats for those. And in terms of carbon, peatlands are the best place to store carbon for the long term. Whereas woodlands accumulate carbon for a century or two and then stop, these peatlands that we're standing among have been storing carbon for the last 4, 5, 6,000 years. And at their height, the peat here would have been anything up to 10 metres deep. Drainage and 200 years of farming have reduced that, but we still have massive stores of carbon here. Speechley Farm is at the heart of the Great Fen, so this is going to be one of the largest wetland restorations in Britain, and Speechley's is a keystone to that in that it links together the southern half of our project area around Wood-Walton Fen National Nature Reserve and the northern half around Home Fen. It's got some of the deepest surviving peat in this part of the world, so that we're aiming for the full range of peatland, wetland habitats, with the biodiversity from Wood-Walton Fen overbringing its banks into Speechley's. And the flip side also is that making Speechley's wetter will make it much easier to manage the water levels on existing restored land close to Wood-Walton.
So we're going to maximise the protection of carbon in the peat soils here by raising the water table. So the current agricultural management means the water table is held quite low, so the peat soils can oxidise and release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Farming here at low water levels allows oxidation and the release of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. And when we trap it in underneath this wildlife-rich habitat, it should be there forever, and hopefully eventually we might even build extra carbon into the system.
So Bedfordshire, Cambridgeshire, Northamptonshire Wildlife Trust are one of our trusted deliverers. So they're conservation organisations who deliver wild carbon projects. And we've been working really closely with them to get Speechley's Farm up and running and through the validation process. So that involves drawing up the management plan for the project, monitoring plan, finalising the carbon estimations, which then lead into producing the carbon units for sale. So we're now at the point of validating this project, and the units will be for sale fairly soon, and that will be our largest project to date. So this is a really exciting step forward for wilder carbon.
So the carbon income, the income we get from carbon to support the work we're doing here is essential. It's really easier to raise money for capital works and the immediate change, and really hard to support ongoing management in the long term to make sure that those wins are really secured for the future. So by buying carbon credits, you're supporting the sort of long-term future of carbon, and we wouldn't be able to do the work without, really.
We want to have funding for future conservation work coming out of this, but we also want it to be totally and utterly watertight. We want this to be completely legitimate, beyond question, beyond doubt. And we think Wilder Carbon is extremely diligent and objective in its assessment of what we're doing. So there's no danger of us overselling the carbon, partly because of the 50% holdback in the first 5 years, which we think is a real advantage. The second point is that unlike other accreditation systems, Wilder Carbon cares who it sells to, so that you will be doing due diligence around potential purchasers of carbon credit. We'll do our own diligence as well, but this means there won't be projects out there selling carbon credits as greenwash. Every project accredited by Wilder Carbon will be a good project sold to good companies who have already reduced their own carbon footprint and minimised the carbon that they need to offset.
If you would like to invest in this fantastic project, or indeed any of our other Wilder Carbon projects, and you're a UK registered company with a public commitment and science-based plan to reduce your own carbon emissions, then please get in touch with the team. We'll take you step by step through the buyer approval process, and if approved, you'll then have access to our public registry and be able to purchase any of our carbon units from any of our Wilder Carbon projects.